1984, written by George Orwell, explores realistic human experiences such as controlling the population using fear and power, which show a clear connection to an individual's everyday life. Within this dystopian world, the political party of Oceania withholds all sources of power and control. These key themes, which reflect its context, create constant fear and oppression in this society. By controlling the population and manipulating history, the party is able to build angst for those living under these conditions and force distance between individuals' connection to each other and their world. The protagonist, Winston, is a middle-aged man who prides himself on his own beliefs regardless of the expectations set by the political party. Like Orwell, Winston is outraged by the dictatorial and totalitarian control that was expressed within their respective societies. These include Hitler and his involvement in World War II, as well as Orwell's personal experience with the British Imperial Police Force. Orwell's relationship with the police force is expressed throughout the novel, as he was required to enforce the strict laws of the political regime, which he worked under. Whilst experiencing the rise of powerful dictators, Orwell became inspired to explore his human experience of hatred towards political authority and control. Throughout 1984, the party maintains control through the implementation of the thought police. Alongside heavily monitoring civilians, the establishment of power and control is shown through the constant fear of the party. Within the 2 minutes of hate, Winston narrates, "Of course he chanted with the rest. It was impossible to do otherwise. To dissemble your feelings, to control your face, to do what everyone else was doing was an instinctive reaction." The use of positive pronouns emphasises the force and level of the control that the political party asserts over society, thus communicating the human experience of how all civilians must conform to the expectations of the party and follow their regime. This involves not committing any thought crimes or acting against the political body. Nonetheless, with the remainder of society conforming, Winston feels obliged to do the same. The listing further provides an insight into Winston's human experience and how he has lost faith and how it is impossible to compete against the powerful totalitarian government. Thus, living under a powerful regime forces him to choose between becoming a rebel or subserve the political expectations. Ultimately, Winston loses hope of challenging the party. However, he still wishes to obtain his own personal beliefs of obtaining freedom, regardless of the party's ideologies. The audience is confronted as the people of Oceania are being withheld their basic human rights. Additionally, the negative connotation of dissemble and control complement the defeated tone, which reinforces how an individual must abide by the government, hence forcing those to comply, otherwise they will be admitted for submission in order to support those in power. Similarly, the party slogan dealing with the control that the political regimes possess and the manipulation of history, "Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past," is referred to throughout Winston's kidnapping. The oxymoron creates a distinct contrast of the past, present and future to contradict who is really in positions of power. The cross-comparison of time explores the human experiences of power and control, especially by showing the influence of the political regime. In order for the party and its leaders to gain complete power, they must exploit the people and control the system. The totalitarian government then uses their domination to control aspects such as time by manipulating the facts about their society's history and how this will continue into the future. The emphasis and repetition of control explore how society is restricted alongside the set of ideals, values, and expectations each individual must conform to. Thus, their human experience forces those to live under the political leaders and assimilate to align with their ideologies. The negative connotation surrounds the use of control and evokes the audience to resort to fear. The key human experiences of manipulating society and their history is to force oppression and those deemed insane into submission. Winston explores this personally as he declares himself a rebel against the party, despite the constant fear of the potential outcomes. These not only reflect past regimes, but the context shows commonalities to perpetual war, omnipresent government, and overall propaganda. Thus, Winston's human experience with the totalitarian world deals with the absolute control and power of the party, in which society becomes a subject to psychological control, furthermore compelling people to align with the political regime.